video, we will learn about the labor supply curve. And so what is it? So the labor supply curve is the number of hours an individual or individuals, right? The labor supply curve is the number of hours individuals willing to work at given market wages. The market supply curve. So this would be individual labor supply curve. Then we should put it down this way. So willing to work at given market wages. Market labor supply would be the horizontal addition of all individual labor supply curves. In the market. And this labor supply curve is a backward bending curve, which we'll understand. So let's start from here. We can delete that, delete that. It's a freehand curve. Okay, I've just used it from the other slide. All right, we'll leave it as it is. So the labor supply curve. That's all. As S. Mm-hmm. What it means over here is we've got this supply of labor, people are working as the wages are rising, and then suddenly from here there's a backward bend.
Yeah.
Okay. And why is this happening? It's a bit sharp. Probably just I'll leave it as it is, right. Let me split this diagram into two halves over here, and let's say this is where target income is. Okay, so target income for an individual in a week is pound 400. If the individual was being paid, let's say £8 an hour, okay, and then let's say, yeah, up to £10 an hour, he would be willing to work 40 hours because that would make his £400. So this part of the diagram, as the wages are increasing, the hours of supply time is increasing, and we call this substitution effect. This part is called the substitution effect. What it means is the individual worker is willing to supply more hours of work as the market wages are increasing to meet his target income, which will normally be made up of his mortgage or rent, necessities, and somewhat luxury, whatever he enjoys in that sort of money. So he's willing to supply that. However, once he achieves his target income, right, which is £400, and worker values leisure time over working time and will give up working hours in pursuit of leisure. So what's happened is, above £10, let's say his income has risen to £15. And what we should do is we should delete these numbers over here because they don't collaborate with my example. So if his income has increased to, let's say, £15, to make £400, he'll probably have to work, let's say, 20 times 15 is 300 quid, and 15 times 7 is 105. Got the wrong currency there. So £400.
Yeah.
So this part shows the income effect.
Yeah. And you're going to hash it, can you?
Okay, yep. So yes, once the income is achieved, what they do is they start, target income. Once they've met it, then they value leisure more, and they give up work. Why? Because they're being paid, and that is how supply curve. So if a firm wants to employ more workers above this, they probably have to give out a lot of wages, to bring them back in, so that the opportunity cost of leisure is too high for a worker to refuse it.
Yeah.
Okay. Factors that will affect the supply of labor curve and the wage elasticity. Now, some workers that work, okay, what they do is they look at, when you go into the market looking for work, right, you look at the wage utility. It means the amount of money that's being paid to you and the number of goods you can actually buy from them. The affordability. If that job is giving you a lower wage, then would your utility be high or low?
High.
Low. Because you can't buy it.
Oh, because you can't buy. Oh, yes.
So your total utility will fall, isn't it?
It's got utility fee at the beginning. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And other perks that come. So it's not only about the utility, but there are other things like cars, holidays, number of holidays,
work days,
sickness pay in the UK.
Yeah.
So
does that mean when looking for work, the worker?
yeah, so when looking for work, the worker will look at, thank you for that, will look at the basic pay and what he can buy with it, as that will be his total utility. Economic goods consumed. This will also include chance of bonuses, though it's not clear normally, but if you meet target, so when you're a chief executive officer, you're going to a company, they don't only give you your annual pay, but they also set you targets and bonuses.
Yeah.
And then you make a decision, do I want to join this company or not?
Mm-hmm.
So this will also include other material pay, like bonus and perks, like holidays and cars, etc. So that's why I put a lemon over there.
Yeah.
Or what sort of offers. So that makes a difference to the supply curve, which can move to the right or to the left, which can shift to the right or shift to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Job satisfaction is another thing which can increase, shift the supply curve to the right or to the left. Have you heard about sometimes people saying this is the best job I could get in the market for me? Why? Because they're very happy in their job.
Yeah. This is
Job
always-
satisfaction, isn't it?
Mhm.
And then what they're also doing is they're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you hear people saying, I would have done this for free, but I actually get paid.
Mm-hmm.
I was visiting Windsor Castle once,
Yeah.
and there's a zoo. Is it the Cheltenham? No. Whoa. Can't remember the zoo over there.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
our kids were
Woburn.
there. Sorry?
Is it Woburn?
No, the Woburn Safari. Yeah, that's another one. When we
Yeah.
went to Woburn Safari,
Mhm.
and there were a lot of happy people, and they said, we would love to do this, as a voluntary work, but the best part is I get paid as well.
Yeah. Yeah. They're looking
So-
after the lines and stuff.
Yeah, so wage plus job satisfaction. Sometimes it's the view of leisure time, which I've said in terms of holiday and cars,
Mm-hmm.
which can then move the supply curve to the right or to the left.
Yeah.
So, so the leisure time available with working time will shift the supply curve to the right or left. My question to you is teaching as a profession, and what do you think the English teachers have been moaning about?
Low wages.
More than wages, they've also been moaning about is the amount of work they have to do.
No,
Especially
after
people
school.
taking after school work,
Yeah.
isn't it, to homes, all the marking, and some people are talking about working up to 12 in the night,
Yeah.
getting their lesson plans ready. Does that make sense
Mhm.
in terms of leisure time? Because though it's the job, specification says you'll be teaching from 8:30 to 3:30,
Mm-hmm.
but then the hidden work, which
The
is
homework,
the
marking.
homework marking and everything, they have to take home and do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Though, it can be argued they do have 13 weeks of holidays.
Yeah.
in a
Get all
year.
the holidays.
Yeah. So the British population is aging, right? And that means there will be less people working. So inelastic. On the other hand, people are living longer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And many are not willing to retire because they have nothing to.
Do.
So what that means is then there are more people, isn't it?
Yeah. So and also immigration.
And immigration as well. So, and living longer, and with immigration combined, the supply curve becomes
Inelastic. Oh, elastic. Sorry.
will be elastic. Yes. The proportion of labor to total cost. Again, we were talking about this earlier, isn't it? Or, how much labor are we using within the manufacturing or production process itself?
Mm.
If it's quite huge if it's a labor-dominated work, bespoke work. So with bespoke work, we need more workers, and then you have automated plants, which leads to mass manufacturing. So over here, more elastic because you need less workers, but there will be more supply, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that is because there are very few available. If it's bespoke work in that sort of market, where the work comes in, they find a job straight away. So there are less workers available. Over here, less needed, so more elastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Short run versus long run, and skilled and unskilled jobs. Again, in the short run and long run and skilled and unskilled, what I can do is I can actually combine these two together, right? I know people can argue about this, but my video is already 16 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to combine that. If you look at doctors, is that a skilled job or an unskilled job?
Skilled.
And what about this cleaner over here?
Unskilled. Right?
It's an unskilled, isn't it? So, and doctors take about 7 years to become a doctor, isn't it? Train. And a cleaner probably about 7 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what my wife did to me in terms of cleaning the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Probably fewer than 7 hours, I would say.
She took it as cleaner.
What I'm saying is, so coming back to this. So with doctors, even in the short run, it will be inelastic. Why? Because they need 7 years to train, and then it's the qualification as well, more skilled. Doctors need 7 years to train, and that's the skill there. Are you happy with this?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to YouTube Tutor Economics and click the like button. Thank you.